everybody! My name is Rolo and today we're reading another Reddit story. So if that's your cup of tea, please do like and subscribe and let's get right into it. Today's first story comes from NatedJ30 with the title, Boss is pretending I never gave notice. I gave my 2 weeks notice last Tuesday, handed the letter directly to my manager, had a brief conversation about transition plans, and thought that was that. Now, she's acting like it never happened. She's still assigning me projects for next month, still scheduling me for meetings 3 weeks out. Yesterday, she asked me to order business cards with my name on them. When I reminded her I'm leaving, she just said, "We'll see about that," and walked away. I work in accounts payable for a small company. It's not like I'm some irreplaceable genius. Literally anyone can be trained to process invoices. But she keeps saying things like, "You can't just abandon us during busy season," and "We invested so much into training me to use QuickBooks 2 years ago. Today, she scheduled me for a performance review next month. When I said I wouldn't be here, she looked genuinely confused and said, "What are you talking about? You never said anything about leaving." I have the letter. I took a photo of myself handing it to her, but she's completely in denial. I'm starting my new job Monday, whether she accepts my resignation or not. Just wondering if anyone's dealt with this level of delusion before? Do I need to send another letter, email HR, or just stop showing up after Friday and let her figure it out? This is so bizarre. I've never had a boss just refuse to acknowledge reality like this. Now jumping into some of OP's comments. One commenter says, "And do not share where you will be going. Sabotage has happened to many." To which OP says, "Definitely not telling them where I'm going. Already learned that from past jobs." A different commenter says, "You took a photo of yourself handing in your letter of resignation?" And OP replies, "Yeah, I knew she tried to claim it never happened, so I documented it. Glad I did." A third commenter says, "Guess they're planning for you to haunt the office forever." And OP responds, "Probably. Let them explain to the next person why their predecessor mysteriously vanished." A different commenter says, "Send a copy to HR and tell them when you submitted it to your boss. CC the boss's manager too. Sounds like your boss isn't following protocol and will say you didn't give notice. Leave as planned." To which OP says, "I'll CC HR and her manager when I send the follow-up. Thanks." Another commenter says, "And of course, she'll deny that the conversation ever happened. So include the picture that you took as proof. Congrats on your new job, OP." OP says, "Exactly why I took the photo. She'll definitely try to deny everything that happened." And a final commenter says, "And a screenshot of the photo in your camera roll where the date it was taken is included." OP replies, "That's smart. Screenshot with the metadata showing date and time, covering all the bases." Now, I know recently in my videos I've not been commenting much after the initial story, but after reading those comments I feel like I just have to say, the fact OP knew that his manager would deny that any of this happened just speaks to the type of person that she is. So it's definitely a good choice to leave this company, leave this manager or boss or whatever. But yeah, hopefully OP can get out of this situation scot-free with no consequences and start the new job without incidents. Let's get on to the update, which was 16 hours later. "Thanks everyone for all the advice and support. You were all right about documenting everything and covering my bases. I sent a follow-up email to HR and CC'd my boss and her manager with a copy of my resignation letter and the photo I took of myself handing it to her. Also included screenshots with timestamps like some of you suggested. I got a call from HR within an hour. Turns out this isn't the first time she's pulled this stunt. Apparently she did the same thing to someone else last year. They're handling it internally and confirmed my last day is Friday as originally planned. My boss finally acknowledged my resignation today, though she acted like she was doing me a huge favor by accepting it. Whatever, I'm out of here in 2 days and starting fresh somewhere that actually operates in reality. Thanks again for helping me navigate this insanity." It feels like OP had some kind of spidey sense with her. Like, oh, she's done similar things in the past, she's kind of denied reality sometimes. I'm gonna just cover all my bases, take a photo of me, hand in my resignation, make it sure that there is no possibility of deniability that this has happened. And it turns out she did this exact thing a year ago. What is wrong with this woman? Like, good on OP for contacting HR, getting it sorted, and being free within 16 hours of their original post. We never see something that crazy. Thank you for your story, OP. And let's move on to one final story today. Yay, 2-story video! Our next story comes from the user Waffle House Eat 2am from the Made Me Smile subreddit with the title, I found out how my roommate treats my cats when I'm not home. I, 24 female, live with my cousin, 30 male. I have 3 cats, 1 adult cat and 2 12-week kittens. And whenever I am home, he will be mean to them in a very joking and light-hearted way. He'll call them names, fat ass, dumbass, etc. But it's in that bullying is a love language type of way. And I have never ever been afraid of him actually mistreating my cats. Especially because they clearly adore him. He plays in roughhouses with them, he pets them, but he never gets all lovey-dovey the way I do with them. Or so I thought. I live in a 2-story townhouse with my bedroom being on the 2nd floor, and I always keep my door open so that the cats can go in and out. Yesterday morning, I had woken up but not gotten out of bed yet, and my 2 kittens were playing on the landing just outside my bedroom door. I hear my cousin start to walk up the stairs, and I stayed as quiet as possible. I knew he thought I wasn't home because when I am home, he always calls up to me to ask if he can come up. I have given him permission to go in my room when I'm not home to play with my cats. My door was creaked open about a foot, and I see his arm reach. He says, "Scoop," and grabs the kitten. Then I hear about a minute straight of kissy sounds and baby talk. I'm just quietly watching from my bed, trying not to let out a giggle, when he suddenly stops, slow turns, and makes stunned eye contact with me through the crack in my door. When he realized I saw and heard the whole thing, he got embarrassed and said, "Oh, I saw them running around up here and I thought I'd come play with them." I laughed and said it was totally fine, but he retreated back downstairs to put his tough guy persona back on. The photo above is one he just sent me having a cuddle session with baby George. OP does provide a screenshot which I'll put up on the screen for you guys, between her and the cousin. The cousin says, "He's been here for like 20 minutes. And it's a picture of the cat on his legs. OP shows the like crying eyes, so sweet emoji, and says, "He's so sweet." OP does come in with the update 2.5 months later. A while back I made a post about how I caught my roommate baby talking my cats, and I have a new adorable development. A couple months ago, I went on a family vacation, so my roommate took care of my cats while I was gone. During that week, he accidentally started a new routine with them. Each time he'd fill their food bowls, he'd stand there and give them pets and scratches while they ate. After a couple days, they decided that is now a requirement. Only with him though. They don't make me do this. Now every day when he gets home, they run to the door to excitedly greet him, and then run to their food bowls. They'll sit there and yell at him until he goes over to give them pets while they eat. The funniest part of it is that they free feed. I just keep their bowls full so that they can eat whenever they are hungry. Now I know some people frown upon that, but my work schedule is too unpredictable to keep them in a consistent feeding schedule, and none of them are overweight, so it works for us. Even though they have constant access to food, they'll wait for him to get home from work to have dinner so that he can give them scritches. So sweet. So sweet indeed. Like the whole time I was reading this story, I had a massive grin from ear to ear, and I couldn't help but just smile and laugh as I was reading this story. It's just, as the subreddit suggests, very wholesome. I don't know, it was really nice. I feel like a lot of guys have that two-facedness with cats specifically, where they'll be like oh, I hate you and blah blah. And then when your back's turned, they're like, my little angel, come here. And they give the most love to cats. But anyway, let's end it there today. A nice, sweet story to end on, and hopefully that cheered your day up a little bit, because it definitely brightened mine. Anyway, I hope that I'll see you next time. Bye bye!